guys ready to go to paradise?
Yeah.
Woo!
On, and this was just made out of foam. It just had to look old. It took a week to make. Like, some of the sets were awesome. Took months to make because they're functional. You're getting in them, you're opening doors. Like Edoros, the Rohan Kingdom, that took 8 months to make, and then they filmed for 9 days and took it down. Privilege, you know. They give you a wetsuit and a helmet. Then they walk you up through the trees here till you get really hot. And then you start right at the top, and then you abseil and you jump. It is funny for us, disgusting for them.
The fish,
Yeah,
and wriggling.
yeah, you were close when you were saying that. Sort of similar. We've got Gollum, Frodo, and Sam. Yeah. So somebody already somebody said, "Oh, it looks like the place where the
Oliphops, yeah.
Look. It's an oliphant.
You're right. This is where the elephants were. So, sooty mould.
Sooty mould.
And I don't know if there's a Latin name, but I shouldn't say who cares, but you don't use those. It's got like this mould that grows on it. We're pretty lucky, guys. That beautiful glacier down the end isn't always showing. Little man Alfred. To the right of it is the Misty Mountains in Lord of the Rings. We're going in the gap in between those two. Can everybody see that? So if you want to see where we're going today without rewatching the movies too much, do you know when you watch a series on Netflix and they give you a wrap up of what you've just watched, and you only watched it 10 minutes before, so you're like, yeah, I don't know. When the second movie came out, they said to Jackson, "You're going to have to do a wrap up of the first movie," and he's like, "No, I'm not. If they haven't watched it, I'm not doing it." He compromised. So the opening scene of Two Towers is a helicopter flying along the ridge.
Yeah.
That one there. Flying along the ridge, and that's Little Mount Alfred in the background. So we're driving in the way the helicopter's flying out. So it's flying along that ridge line. It's, pretty crazy, eh? Over, Boromir picks up the ring. Obviously that then everybody knows, and they send in the storm. The storm gets sent in and they go through the mines of Moria after that. So that's almost a still shot in a moving movie. Wait till I'll tell you the story. Wow. And I'm going to show you one more location, then just give you a few minutes to absorb instead of me chatting to you. See this valley here across the way? This is the Greenstone Valley. So when I was guiding, we would walk for 2 days. You get to the Milford Road, and then you walk for another 3 on the Great Walk to Rootburn. You come into the head of the valley. It's beautiful. Where that green grass is, it looks like it's flat, but it's not. At the front of the valley there is Dunharrow. So the scene of Dunharrow is this one here. You know, when they're getting ready for battle, King Theoden's back to being a king again. They've depicted Aragorn and Theoden standing on that hill on the left, looking down at the Greenstone River going into the lake. But they're actually in the North Island, just that little bit there.
Blanket Bay.
These farms have been handed down from generation to generation. Lots of very, land-rich people, but land-rich farmers, but it's hard to make a living out of this land here. So guys, in 15 minutes, we're going to be standing outside in the gorgeousness, having a cup of tea or a coffee or chocolate. We've got Isengard coming out to our left here, and on our right we've got our Lover's Leap, looking very leapy. To the left of Lover's Leap is a valley going up called the Burn. There's a little helicopter company in Glenochy dedicated to flying you up there. Or you can hike it. It's a rather arduous 5-hour hike. I've done it once before and camped there. And though, this big massive rock surf, rock wall with pockets of snow and waterfalls. It's a Hobbit location. So it's when they're leaving Rivendell and you've got feel differently when you go through. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Paradise! If you didn't already feel like you were, we are now in it. See, obviously you can see these mountains that shape up there. This little hill here is this one over here. So Jackson's taking it on an angle and then using some technology to kind of squeeze it in a little bit.
Angorn lies on our doorstep.
Love when we first come to Isengard though, you know, it goes down, it shows you all the orcs making weapons. Weta Workshop's made over 48,000 props. And there's these guys that are working on it for years, and then there's me going, oh yeah, I'll be an extra, and like, you're in it, you know, and they're like, hello, where that white cliff is, it's Chinaman's Bluff, that's the end of the road there. There's the Reesdart track starts there, there's nothing else going on. So this is all about, every time you go to the scene, it'll be like swooping in from different directions. But another definitive thing you will notice is this valley here. So you know when the Ents caused the flood, they made it look like it was coming out of there. So you have to kind of imagine a helicopter flying to the top of the tree line and looking inside that valley.
Break the dam! Release the river!
It took 3 months to make. One of these old Ents that's been here for hundreds of years decided to fall over 8 days before filming and cause some carnage, and he just thought that was funny. He went, give me the axe, make it look like I cut it down, you know, so that's going on. Look, this scene after scene, like you'll sometimes use you know, like a different forest, but the Misty Mountains in the background as well. So it's kind of all going on in this spot here. But what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'll whiz out the coffee and tea and things. Over and over again, so there's numerous scenes filmed just within 3 to 5 minutes of this spot. Because you know, look at this beautiful red beech tree. We're not going to recognise that from another, so they didn't need to go back to let's find one they haven't seen before, you know. So this whole forest here was used lots. I guess once you've been here and you can have a little wander through, whenever you go to a scene where there's elves involved, you'll be like, ooh, they came back here 3 times. But definitive scenes you will recognise. Yeah. You know, when they think Gandalf's died, the Fellowship entered the forest, obviously heavily CGI'd.
Show yourself! It cannot be. You fell.
This is, you know, Jackson couldn't put gold leaves down or touch up the trees, so they came up with that technology. They're all looking pretty sad. Somebody was skiting about his prowess and stealth. should never brag. It always bites you, doesn't it? You know, he got greeted by the elves first in this bit of forest.
Well, here's one dwarf she won't ensnare so easily. I have the eyes of a hawk and the ears of a fox.
The dwarf breathed so loud we could have shot him in the dark.
But scenes that were shot here, so like at Amon Hen, that's the scene where Boromir died. The filming of him dying was done in this bit of the forest too.
They took the little ones.
Somebody was asking me about Uruk-hai today, and kind of going, the big guy who's Lurtz, like who was he? But there was a lot of there was a big Maori guy one time when we were out on about, obviously not at Isengard because you're not allowed in there, but he wasn't trying to eavesdrop, he was off, so I went over and had a chat to him because sometimes people try and listen in, and I'm like, oh, what are you up to, mate? And he's like, oh, I live in the North Island, I've just come down, I was an orc, so I'm just going around all the sites. I'm like, right, everybody get over, let's ask him loads of questions. He was really fun and he was up for it. One thing I took away from it is it was a moment in time. Yeah, it was all sorted. Do you mind me putting it on?
No, go ahead.
You're acting, you gotta put the face in.
You do. Oh yeah. You want me to do a video? This time. There we go.
Let's see if we can capture
Snuck up on me.
some
So just
of
even
this
just from the
savagery.
window, or if you open up the door.
Vicky Holland again. So we just got done with the Lord of the Rings tour with pure Glenochy. It was freaking awesome. I think it was 120
Incredible.
New Zealand dollars, $80 US dollars. Freaking awesome. We had a savage, great British tour guide named Vicky.
With a Y. Vicky with a Y.
With a Y. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was very funny. We were laughing our asses off the whole time. Had lots of great stories. She was actually an extra cast member on this tour. Well worth the cost. We got to see some awesome places. We got to see where Frodo and them were watching over the. Oh crap! We forgot to ask about Milford Sound.
Oh, shoot.
Anyway, where they were watching over the
Oliphants. First seeing them.
Oliphants. We got to go to Isengard. We got to go to what was that one place called?
The Elf Forest. Yeah, Elf Forest where Boromir dies. Those are two big ones. But Isengard, absolutely stunning.
Yeah, freaking awesome.
Gorgeous, amazing. Highly recommend it.
Like an hour up Glenochy, we got to pass a cabin where Tom Cruise stayed and they filmed Mission Impossible Fallout. They brought props out. We got to play with it.
Yeah.
I could not recommend enough the New Zealand tour. It's pure Glenochy, well worth the price, and we love the small bus vans because you got a more intimate tour guide experience, and you had the perfect amount of time to stop and take photos. If you had more people going, it would take away from the experience because it'd just be like just overrun with tourists, and it would really take
she
away
really
from the magic.
customized the experience for us and talked to us, and like we chit-chatted, and yeah, just amazing experience.
Yeah, so 5 out of 5 Kiwis.
5 out of 5 Kiwis.
Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you, Vicky. Bye.